Welcome to this podcast with me and Lillian. Today we're going to talk about the journey that we all take with regards to overcoming our chronic conditions. We're going to have a look at the overview of the complete situation.
And I've remade our webpage so it's easier for people to understand the underlying principles. So it's the first time Andy see this webpage, and it's us that want to give you a 3-step solution on how to become better. And I made these small pictures here. So number one step is that you have found us and you have maybe have a disease in many years, but are opening up to these alternative things. So here is a step where you can enlighten yourself with my book, some smaller and bigger courses. So you sit yourself and get the knowledge and get the trust to what we are doing. What do you think, Andy?
I think the book is excellent. I think you get an awful lot from hearing about other people's life stories, and it makes you reflect on your own life and think about how stress has played such a major part in your life and where it's led you.
And I have this little biological stress test to help you understand that a lot of our reaction come from what we call fight, flight, and freeze. What?
Absolutely. We're mammals, and this is a response that nature has given us. It's an instinctual response, and I think if you have a chronic illness, you are kind of trapped in this fight, flight, and freeze mammalian response. And that's very significant because it needs to be challenged and changed. It's about changing yourself, pulling yourself out of this situation.
So here, the first step, it's you convincing yourself, yes, it's good. Somebody like Andy, I guess, you did a little of these things, but very fast went to the next step, and that's to connect. So the next step could be joining the community. So what does it give you to be with like-minded people?
It gives you a huge amount. It's one of the best aspects of the course is connecting with your tribe. Um, you share experience, you share anecdotes, you share success stories, you share failures, you share all sorts of things, and the sharing is very, very rewarding and encouraging and pushes you in the right direction without you even realizing. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
So before, how many people with Parkinson did you know before you met this Hope Shortcut
Nobody,
concept?
nobody.
And how was it to be alone with that diagnosis?
Well, I didn't really want to meet people because I was so scared of what they were going to be like because I thought this is my fate, this is where I'm heading. So I kind of didn't associate with anyone with Parkinson's. And then when I met the people on the course, my mind completely shifted. I thought I need people. I need to be part of a community. It's so important. And that's actually shifted over to my own life outside of the course, where I make an effort to communicate with my friends and family much more than I have before, because that connection with people is so important and it lowers stress. So it's really important if you're overcoming a chronic illness.
So I'm just guessing, but let's say there's 99% of communities that are sort of having this old narrative of you cannot become better and it'll only become worse. And then there's a tiny few that have this approach that of course you can do a lot of things. Most people with Parkinson have a connection to that type of communities that have this, there's nothing to do. So we talk about pills, we talk about helping tools to get your clothes on. You talk about wheelchairs and you talk about how to
Mm,
delay the process.
mm.
And you have this other way that, of course, you can do a lot. As most people are in at least one support group, what
I
is
did.
the benefit, do you think, for these guys to change?
Well, I did a course a couple of years ago, which was a newly diagnosed with Parkinson's course by Parkinsons.org. Parkinsons.org is a great organization. I mean, they do the best that they can, given the knowledge that they have. And one of the things that was said to me is don't use knives anymore when you're chopping food in the kitchen. Use scissors. And I just thought, no. I want to be able to use a knife. I don't accept that. I don't accept that kind of giving in attitude. I don't accept admitting defeat and saying, it's got me, I give up, I'm a loser. Whereas hope, I'm still chopping vegetables with knives because I have hope now. And I know that I can do that. If I concentrate, I can do things that perhaps I might have given up on before I did the course. So it's very important to shift your perspective. It's hugely important. It's one of the central parts of the course that it will shift your perspective.
And I give in the community, it's you can wish what we could talk about. I give little snippets of information from things I've found or subjects that's come up in therapy with me and so on. But then we have these breakout room where you are one-on-one with another person. How does that feel?
It's great. They're really good because you feel more confident about speaking up. So you get the quiet people who are often quite interesting and they've got a lot to say, but they're shy and they're quiet. When you go into a breakout room, they tend to speak more, and it becomes quite intimate and personal and revealing and very, very encouraging.
Sounds good. And then the next step is that we have this big course where you, during many months, get a toolbox, get knowledge on how to break free, how to keep your stress down. So you, with these like-minded, sort of go through a process where you change, you get a shift from this old narrative, you can do nothing, to you can do a lot and exactly know what to do. What do you think about this step in the travel?
Well, it's excellent. As you said, it says open the doors to a new world. It is a new world. It's a kind of different, completely different perspective. If I have bad symptoms when I'm in bed at night, I can put my hands behind my head and I can calm myself down so much that my symptoms, my tremor, which is my major symptom, will stop. Sometimes I think it's not going to work, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. And then I say to myself, yes, it is going to work because this is the answer. And it always does eventually. Sometimes it takes longer, but it always does. Calming myself down, lowering my stress has a dramatic effect on my symptoms. It is a new world. It's a completely new world because I would have never thought. I'd have just given up and taken more medication in the past. Whereas now I don't. I think, no, I can do this. I feel empowered. I feel emboldened. I feel stronger.
And what Andy is talking about here is that we, in every meeting, both give some small relaxation exercise, and it's not that you should use all of them, but you should pick the
Mm.
one that works from you. And you can hear Andy has found a powerful one for him.
Yep.
And by giving you a ton of knowledge, biological understanding, we slowly open the toolbox on what to do. And it's all under this umbrella of stress reduction, because if you have symptoms that relate to your stress, instead of focusing on the illness, take on and focus on the stress reduction and
Yeah.
see where it brings you.
Yeah.
And who knows, I don't know, you listening here, maybe you have had some terrible accident and something is broken, but I'm pretty sure that 99% have so much stress either in their current life or their past life, traumas, childhood abuse, neglect, accidents, terrible spouses, and not to forget terrible bosses or a high level of push and pressure in them. So it's to turn everything around, look at all the different things, learn to interpret your symptoms, and get this connection with stress. Where are you in this process?
Well, I think sometimes people don't actually realize that they're carrying a lot of stress in their body, that they live a very stressful life. Because I think today stress is kind of normalized. We think it's okay to be stressed and to rush around and have a very stressful life. And from my perspective, I've slowed right down. I do less each day. I enjoy doing less. I look forward to being a little bit bored, a little bit lethargic, a little bit lazy. I think it's so good for me because I really pushed myself in the past, and I'm finding that that's really helping my state of mind, which is helping to reduce my symptoms.
And it's to open the door to a ton of knowledge and some tools so you are never in doubt of what to do, basically.
Absolutely.
And if I should say it, you have had so good experience that you actually want to help me on the next course.
I do, Lillian. It's been so good for me that I just want to help and support you to carry this message forward.
Because there's lots to do with Zoom and breakout rooms. It's possible to get one-on-one session with me. Is there any last comment, Andy?
Join the course. It's excellent. It will change your life.
And someone once said that it was a course everybody should have because it's if you are ill or not, it's probably more a matter how old you are. If the sum of stress one day become too much, and you
Mm,
have the straw that break the camel's back. So,
absolutely. It helps everybody. Has the potential to help everybody.
so see you hopefully